Okay, this is part 2 of lesson 7.1. And so we're going to do model 3. A train travels from Webster to Washington, D.C. So Webster is a city, okay? It's going to travel from Webster to Washington, D.C. And so here's Webster, and here's Washington, D.C. At a constant speed, that means it's always going at the same speed, it makes the trip in 2 hours. So now if we look over here, it tells us that the trip is 120 miles. So it takes them 2 hours to go 120 miles. Make a table to show the distance the train travels in various amounts of time. So we know that the train travels 120 miles. I'm going to start here because I want to find the unit rate. And it takes them 2 hours. How far will a train travel in 1 hour? So in 1 hour, the train is going to travel. So if I was to do a ratio, it's 120 over 2. This is miles. This is hours. Is equal to, I want to know for 1 hour. So in order for me to go from 2 to 1, I would divide by 2. And the same thing up here, to go from 120, I would also divide by 2. So 120 divided by 2 equals 60. So in 1 hour, I would go 60 miles. In 2 hours, I would go 120 miles. In 3 hours, how far would I go? Well, now that I know that 1 hour is 60 miles, so I could do 1 over 60 is equal to, and since I'm figuring out hours, 3 over, we don't know. So how do I go from 1 to 3? Do I multiply or divide? Well, I would multiply because it's getting bigger. I'll multiply by 3, and then multiply by 3. And so 60 times 3 would equal 180. So this would be 180. How would I go to 4? How would I go to 5? I would do the same thing. I would multiply 60 over 1 is equal to, we don't know, over 4. And 60 over 1 is equal to 5 over I don't know. And so I would do the same thing. Times 4 times 4. 60 times 4 is 240. So this would be 240. And I would do this times 5 and times 5. 60 times 5 is 300. 300. So my ratios would be 60 to 1, 120 to 2. And my ordered pair would be, I'm going to start, let me go backwards, because we always want to start with a smaller number first. So it would be 1 to 60, which my ordered pair would be 1 over 60. It would be 2 to 120, which my ordered pair would be 2 to 120. It would be 3 to 180, which my ordered pair would be 3 over 180. It would be 4 to 240. These are ratios, sorry. Which my ordered pair would be 4 to 240. And it would be 5 to 300, which my ordered pair would be 5 to 300. And now I'm going to go ahead and plot these numbers. I'm going to graph them in my line. And so if you notice, it's a straight line. So 1 to 60 would be here. 2 to 120. 3 to 180. 4 to 240. And 5 to 300. Now the question here is asking us, how how long will it take to travel 90 miles? So 90 miles is about here. How long would it take? Here's about 90 miles. It would take about an hour and a half, 1.5 hours. Okay. Now I want you to go on to guided practice, and I want you to solve 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the independent practice problems. And then here is an assessment. This is to see if you understand what it's asking you.